In this video, I'm gonna break down how to gain muscles and strength with the most effective way possible while training at home. You will understand the number one method for progressing easily. And what makes this method number one is the fact that if you don't progress, it's because you're making a mistake. It's never because of this method. Listen, I waited 8 years, to make content. And when I make it properly, right? So here you go. This method alone, can take you to at least 40 pull-ups and at least 80 dips in one set. At least. Even if you're a beginner. So this works for every level. And it doesn't matter if you struggled to get in shape before or things were hard, you didn't progress. If you listen to this video properly and you note everything down and you remember everything properly, it will take you as far as possible when it comes to training at home and body weight. Which means there's almost no better way to train at home. And I know that many of you here watch a lot of fitness videos online or related to bodybuilding, how to target this muscle, how to target that muscle. You're into this kind of stuff as well, Here, I'll mostly teach you how to get stronger. So you definitely learn how to get to a pull-up, how to learn a dip, You go through all these details. And what's very important is you're just gonna gain strength. If you want muscles, you'll just have to do sets until failure, While trying to maybe progress the overload once in a while, having good control technique. This is for gaining muscles. I just don't find it too interesting. Like just one goal to gain muscles, which you will not even notice the difference at all. You will notice the difference in muscle gaining only if you take some pictures, because you see yourself every day. So even if you change, you're not going to notice it. If a relative or a friend of yours will tell you you're getting bigger, then you will know you're getting bigger. But with strength, guess what? Every session you know you're getting better. So it's more fun to me. Again, it's my opinion about muscle gaining, it's my opinion about bodybuilding. For a reason, there's many people who do bodybuilding because they love it. I personally can't because of calisthenics, because you do crazy bodyweight skills and you do a lot of, cool movements, you get real strength, you can do something, you understand? But again, bodybuilding is about showing your muscles, so let them do it, cool. I support bodybuilding apart from this part, that's the only thing that I don't support too much, obviously, because if you want to live a good, long life, full of happiness, it's not a good idea to. With this method, you don't really need bicep curls, you don't really need triceps exercises. You will do compound lifts, which means your shoulders, triceps and chest will be trained proportionally. Your back and biceps will be trained proportionally because you're doing compound movements. It gives me a very good proportional body. And guess what? Am I the only athlete who I've seen doing weighted pull-ups or weighted dips? No, I've seen many. And they have a good proportional body. Again, many of you are from bodybuilding, they're into fitness, but here you'll just get a good, solid, proportional body, good strength at skills, good, useful strength, proper strength, So that's the good thing about this. If you're all about targeting muscles and all this stuff, we can move on from here, So again, just listen to this video, get the advices properly, and you can start using them straight away. And remember the number one rule with this method I'm gonna explain to you. If you don't progress, it's your fault. The method is very, very good. It can get you to at least 40 pull-ups and at least 80 dips. At least, okay? Even if you're a beginner. So take the method seriously and you will progress. This is one of the methods that many of my students who are part of my Discord community are using, and they progress very well. So if you're serious about achieving your training goals, you're in the right place. For the beginning of my journey, I would say the first 6 months, I was mostly into just bodyweight training. After that, I got into gym. I started doing weighted pull-ups, weighted dips, a bit of random stuff at the gym also, but this didn't last for longer than a couple of months. So after that, I started to combine weighted calisthenics with skills. And I did it for a very long time, for at least 5 years. And now, for the first time in my career, I'm only doing skills to see how far I can go. And bodyweight calisthenics is something cool because you can do it at home, right? And it's a very easy way to get into this. Do you think that at the beginning of my journey, I was serious with training? No, you're very wrong. And I'll tell you something that would maybe even impress you. For a couple of months, I was forced to train by my friend. My friend was forcing me to train. I went to train because he kept asking me to train, not because I wanted to. Oh, look what he did to me now. Look what this motherfucker did to me now. So yeah, by the way, now he's my one and only best friend, so yeah. He did a good job by forcing me. So the fact that you're maybe training a bit, maybe not too serious, man, just get into this and you will go far eventually. With this bodyweight program, you can easily go to 15 pull-ups and 20 dips, which is the requirement before you start weighted pull-ups and weighted dips. The fun part, that's where your serious journey begins, yeah? It's like you learned how to walk when you can do 15 pull-ups, 20 dips. You start to learn how to run, yeah? You're running, yeah? When you can do 20 kilos for 10 reps on weighted pull-ups and 40 kilos for 10 reps on weighted dips. You're sprinting like crazy when you can do like 50, 60 kilogram weighted pull-ups for 10 reps and 80, 90 kilogram weighted dips for 10 reps. That's when you're sprinting. You're like, you know, like you're going all in. So these are the goals for you. Yeah, I gave you some goals. Now it's all you. You need to make it happen. And for the rest of the video, I will explain the method in details so you know how to train properly. What you're gonna need for equipment is at least a pull-up bar and a dip station, at least. Well, how are you gonna do pull-ups if you don't have a pull-up bar? And of course, we're gonna mention the things you could do at home, because many of you maybe don't wanna go to the gym or they don't have a park nearby. How can you do pull-ups without a pull-up bar? Of course, we can come up with some things you can do on the door or some weird stuff, but man, find a way to get a pull-up bar, honestly. Like, just be a bit serious about it, at least. Just get a pull-up bar. It's not that complicated, you understand? So get a pull-up bar you can install at home, find a park near you, go to a gym maybe, you know, just get a pull-up bar, right? Well, for stretching, before pull-ups, dips and push-ups, what do you need to stretch? Dynamic stretching. So before push-ups, you would do some dynamic stretching like this, just move your shoulder a bit, boom, 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 some light stuff, you know, that you learned at school. Just move your shoulders a bit around. Before pull-ups, same thing. Just make sure you keep yourself warm. You keep yourself hydrated, which means you drink minimum 300 milliliters of water within an hour before training. So 1 hour or 45 minutes before training, because it takes a while for the body and the muscles to get hydrated. So that's one thing. And when it comes to food, like how long you eat before a workout, it fully depends on the food you ate. So if it's something with meat or chicken, I would never suggest you to eat that before training. Before training, you need or carbs or fats, mostly. Carbs, if your workout is around 1 hour, 1 hour 30 long. Fats, if your workout is more than 2 hours. But if you're listening to this video, then your workouts will not be that long. One thing I would suggest you to eat before your training is a banana with some peanuts. So you get quick carbs, you get some sugars, which are used in the training straight away, so the sugars will not affect you in a bad way in terms of health if you take it before training. So it's not too bad. Of course, don't take like 100 grams of sugar. This is going to be too much, but a bit of sugars is okay. So 1 banana or 1 apple, you take some peanuts or pistachios, something, just a handful of them, go training. You have fats and you're going to use that energy for more than 2 hours. So that's what I eat. You can eat different things. There's many different variations, but stick to one kind of food and that's it. Don't go training with a full stomach, okay? So if you eat something more intense, a food that's more intense, minimum 2 hours before training, 2 to 3 hours before training. If it's a very small meal, like just a banana and pistachio, 30 minutes before training, go train easily. When it comes to warm-up, the best way I can explain to you, the best warm-up that I know from my experience, from all the knowledge I gained, is you're doing the exercise that you're about to do in the working sets. Yeah. For example, let's say in your main sets, you plan to do 4 sets of 4 reps of push-ups. That's your main workout. That's what you need to do after warm-up. How do you warm up? By doing the same movement, but easier variation. So what would be an easier variation of a normal push-up? Well, maybe an incline push-up where you're not inclined with your face down, you're inclined with your face up. So you go against maybe a table, or you go against like a a chair or something. You go against a sofa and you do push-ups. This is an easier variation of the same movement. And then you do, let's say, 4 reps of that, just light, nothing special. And then after you do this, you need to do one more set. So 2-3 sets depending on the movement is more than enough for your warm-up. And then you do same movement, a bit more intense, but it's a bit more intense. So what would be more intense? So something in between an incline push-up and a normal push-up. What would they be? Well, knee push-ups. Push-ups on your knees, right? You do again 5 reps of that, and just, I would say do the third set. What would it be? Again, it's you doing one push-up, one normal push-up. Yes, it's something that is close to or similar to what you will do in the main sets. And this is good because you will test how you feel. Do you feel good? Is everything okay? And if you recover good, if everything is on point in your program, you eat good, you're listening to your body right, you shouldn't feel any weird pain or any weird sensations. You usually feel those weird sensations when you don't recover enough and you mess up, which you skip the warm-up. Usually, if you recover good and you do everything properly, you shouldn't feel anything wrong with you. You understand? So that's your last warm-up set. Again, you see how it's about doing the same movement that you plan to do in the working sets, like same movement but easier variation. You can find always a way to do an easier variation of something. On the dips, for example, let's talk about dips. What would be the best warm-up for dips? It would be you doing also dips but easier variation, which means if your dip station is low, just support with your legs a bit. So do a dip but help with your legs. That's if your level is around a few reps of dips in the working sets. So in the main sets, you plan to do a couple of dips. And then you're doing the last warm-up set, which would be some negative dips or just 1-2 bodyweight dips. 1-2 bodyweight dips, which is you're telling your body, okay, you do the same intensity as the working sets, and then the working sets will feel light. Like you will not feel weird because you just did the actual movement or the intensity that you will do in the working sets. It's just you didn't do a lot of reps. So literally 1-2 reps. Now when it comes to a pull-up, let's say you're at a level of, you can do maybe 3 sets of 1 pull-up. You're at that level. How do you warm up there? You do an easier variation of the pull-up, which would be you using a band. So you use a band to do a pull-up. Use a proper one that helps you a lot and you can easily do a lot of reps with. And you do only 3 reps. And why 3 reps now? Because in your working sets, you will do a slow rep range. So on a pull-up, you do banded pull-ups, 3 reps, okay, feels good. Then you take a lighter band, a band that helps you less. So you're doing something a bit more intense, but not as intense as doing a pull-up. And then you could do the last warm-up set, a negative. So you go on top of the bar, you hold here, you use a box or something, you find a way to get on top of the bar, boom, slowly go down, boom, that's it. That's your last warm-up set, a negative, which is a very close to an actual set. So you're close to what you plan to do in the working sets, right? So that's the important part. Or what you could do in this case, and again, it's like almost the first time I suggest this to people, but if you're at a level where you're doing only 1-2 reps in the set, let's say on a pull-up or on a dip, you can do like half rep. So you can do a pull-up where you're pulling up to here, that's it. So there's no need to do more than 6 reps. Doing more than 6 reps in the warm-up is the weirdest thing. You're just over warming up, like it's extra, fully extra, unless it's very cold outside and cold at the gym. But even then, just wear something, like put a hoodie on, that would keep you warm. But doing more than 6 reps in a warm-up set, it makes no sense. But if in the working sets you plan to do a low rep range, or lower than 4 or 5, then you do on the warm-up also 2 to 4 reps maximum. Because why would you do a higher rep range in the warm-up when you're doing a lower rep range in the working sets? Again, it usually makes no sense. So before training, just move your shoulders around a bit and do the warm-up I told you, which is the same movement, but you vary the intensity. You do low intensity, then a bit higher intensity, then maybe almost the same intensity like in the working sets, but a very low amount of reps, or 90% intensity or 80% intensity. So almost the movement or the intensity you plan to do in the working sets. And the working sets, again, is the main sets in your workout, the most important sets. These are the main sets. We will talk first about the first level, right, which is you not being able to do a pull-up. Let's say you're even far from doing a pull-up. Well, the best decision here if you're at home, you don't have a gym membership, we'll talk about this first, yeah? Then you use a band, yeah? So you use a band, or you do negatives, or you do supported pull-ups, right? But the band is the best idea because sometimes negatives are hard to do. It's hard to gain the position. Maybe you don't have a box or something to use to gain the position to do them. So better if you're doing assisted pull-ups. Okay, that's the best thing you could do. Of course, you warm up with, like, you put the band that way so that it's easy to warm up. Yeah, like you feel nothing when you do pull-ups. And then in your working sets, choose the band or put the band in a way that it doesn't help you a lot. Like you can do between, let's say, 5 to 8 reps maximum. So if you take the band after the warm-up, let's say you do a couple of sets of easy variations, so you put the band in a way that it helps you a lot. So of course you put the band over the bar, which is easy to get sorted. You put it under your legs, and then you gain the position and do pull-ups. Okay, it's pretty easy to do this. If you can't do it, just sort it out. Get the band, put it on the bar, try to play with it a bit and see how to put it under yourself. Okay, keep your legs straight, do not bend it anyway because it's gonna come there, so you don't want that. Let's assume you don't have those elastic bands to support you. What you can do, and this is very intense, right? You can warm up. Of course, you warm up, as I told you, you imitate the movement you plan to do in the working sets, but you do an easier variation of it. And if you're at the level where you can't do a pull-up yet, but you're getting close, what you can do is, of course, if you're very weak at pull-ups, you do supported pull-ups. So you find a bar which is a bit low, and you support with your legs, you do pull-up, you support with your legs. And with time, you try to support a bit less. You do like 4 sets, good ones, not until failure, close to failure. Then you rest like 2-3 days, you can do it again, and so on. Once you get a bit stronger, you feel a bit of confidence, you can do holds. So after the good warm-up, after you've done your warm-up, you jump and you try to hold here. Hold. That's it. Do a couple of sets of holds. This is a very good exercise, very good one. If you get to, let's say, 4 sets of 10 seconds hold, you can do a couple of pull-ups already. Or, which is what's weird, yeah, and usually again never suggested, but it's similar to what you want to achieve, which is a pull-up. It's you doing half reps. So you hang on the bar, boom, boom, boom. If there's no other way for you to do them, this is okay. Couple of sets of this, and with time you try to do maybe a bit higher pull-up, and then with time even more, until you do a full pull-up. You're not doing sets until failure. You're not going until failure. You're not going close to failure. You're choosing an intensity with which it's easy. The technique. You go explosive. Then you may be, okay, explosive reps, basically explosive reps. Slow control technique is not what you need. It's not even good for you. Like, you don't progress in strength that fast if you go very slow. Yeah, you need to maybe control the negative when you're doing a dip a bit. You control the negative a bit. So if this speed is 50-50, same speed up, same speed down, 50-50. This is 50-50 speed. On dips, I would say it's 40-60. You see? So on the way down a bit slower, on the way up a bit faster. Boom, every time. So on push-ups, you can just do same speed, 50-50 is good. On pull-ups, it's like also 50-50. Just go fast, but control yourself. Do not swing too much. And you'll learn how to control yourself by flexing the abs a bit. Same on dips. So yeah, on pull-ups, you choose an intensity of the band or whatever you're using as an assistance with which you can do minimum 6 reps. Yeah? And then what do? If, let's say, you find out you can do 10 reps, you will do 4 sets of 5. You see? You do 4 sets of 5. Okay. If in the last set you can see and you feel like you can do 2 or more reps, then next training you can try 4 sets of 6 instead of 4 sets of 5. You see? If in the last set you feel like you can do 2 reps or more, then you do more reps next training. You got it? Because this rule will apply to push-ups, to dips. It's similar rule. You never go until failure. Never. Yes, I made a video about the 2-set method, which is, it will give you very good quick strength. But before you do it, you need to get to at least 15 pull-ups and 20 dips. So when it comes to this method, yeah, you don't need to go until failure. In the last set, you should have at least 2 reps in reserve, which means if you don't have 2 reps in reserve, So you can't do 2 reps or more than what you did in the last set. It means next training you're doing the same amount of reps and sets. Same. This method doesn't work if your last sets are too close to failure or too hard. Then you will not progress. So just know that you're not progressing because of this, or because you're making some other mistakes in your training. But this method works for every single human being on this planet. Every single human being. If you're not progressing, you are the problem. You. This method, like, I don't even need to give a new method. I know most methods for gaining strength, the best ones. I'm not going to give you a different one. That's all you need. Of course, the rep range depends on the exercise you do. For example, let's say you do dips and you're at a progression where you found a way to do that exercise easier, but you're at the level where your maximum with that resistance is 6 reps. Then you're doing 4 sets of 2. Do not change the amount of sets, but change the amount of reps when reps get easier. So let's say you do 5 sets of 2. In the last set, you do 2 reps, but you feel like you could do 4 or 5. Next training, try 5 sets of 3. You add 1 rep. You see what you're doing? This is the best rule. That's the best way to get stronger. You can get to even 40 reps and more with time. So just this method, yeah, can get you very far. In endurance, literally just this method alone can get you from doing 4 sets of 4 pull-ups to even 4 sets of 40 pull-ups. You understand? If you stick to it and you do it properly, yeah? You understand? So again, your last set should never be until failure. You should have at least 2 reps in reserve. If you have 1 rep in reserve, do the same amount of reps and sets the next training and make it look easier. Once the last set looks easy and you feel like you can do 2 reps or more, then you go for more reps in the sets. For example, on the push-ups, the best way to do the progressions is on your knees or on an incline. Yeah, on an incline. On the knees, I would suggest you, if you get to, let's say, 4 sets of 15 or 4 sets of 20, you can start doing them on the floor. Yeah. So on the floor, what you're doing is, let's say your maximum is 4 reps of push-ups. Your 4 reps is the maximum. Well, then what you're doing? 4 sets of 2. And okay, you did 4 sets of 2. The last 2 reps felt a bit hard. You felt like you can do 1 more rep maximum. Okay, do 4 sets of 2 again next training. Quick advice about the dips. I mentioned how you can get to 1 dip or a couple of dips in the set. The most fun way for you to learn how to do a dip is by improving your push-ups. Okay? So have the goal to get to like 15, 25 push-ups. The more push-ups, the better. Once you get to that level, then you can do dips easily, automatically. Okay, not easily. By easily, it would be like 10 plus. No. You'll do at least 3 bodyweight dips, at least 5 bodyweight dips if you're good at push-ups. So the most fun way to learn how to do a dip, if you can't do one, improve your push-ups. Get to a good level of push-ups. I mean normal push-ups with straight legs, not on your knees. And then you can do a dip. So look how fun this is. With this method, easy as fuck. There is no human being who will not progress with this method. Unless you're disabled, so I feel bad if you're disabled. It's okay, it happens, yeah. But if you're not disabled, then you're good. You will progress easily. Again, there's no human being who doesn't progress with this method. And how often do you do this? And of course, you should have a day dedicated to legs. Do some squats at home, some bodyweight squats or some 1-leg squats. It's a good idea. Okay, you regret not doing them. Or walking lunges with no weights if you don't have weights. This is what your cycle will look like. Push day, next day pull day, then leg day, then rest and repeat. You can do something like this. Of course, 3 days in a row of such workouts is pretty intense, but you're doing them body weight. You're not gonna feel it. It should be easy. And make sure if you do have push day, then next day pull day, do not stretch your lats on the push day, which is the muscle you will use tomorrow. Do not do this, you remember that. Stretch everything else apart from your lats, so it doesn't affect your pull day. So this is the easiest structure. I would even suggest to give 4 days rest, which means pull day, rest, push day, legs, rest, repeat the cycle. Okay, so this is the best workout structure. Recover, don't do it more often. That's the main reason to why I got injured many times, to why I didn't progress many times, to why many things went wrong, because I didn't recover enough, and because I didn't warm up enough, and because I did extra stuff more than I thought I need to, because I thought I was smart. You're not smart, you're just making stupid mistakes that eventually you will understand that are silly. They're silly mistakes, you regret doing them. So yeah, your first workout could be a testing workout. What's a progression or an intensity and how many reps you can do with that? Okay, of course, warm up good. And then do a set where you do maximum reps. Okay, you find out you can do, let's say, 10 reps. If your maximum is 10 reps with that progression or on that exercise, then next training you're doing 4 sets of 6, and so on and so on and so on. Because you're doing them at home, you don't need to use weights yet. It's too early to use weights. You use weights after you can do 15 pull-ups and 20 dips. If, let's say, you do a progression on push-ups, your knee push-ups, you're doing knee push-ups. After warm-up, your maximum is 6 reps. Then you can do 4 sets of 2. Yeah? Far from failure. Remember this rule, remember it. You're listening. Remember this rule. Far from failure. You're not going until failure. Going until failure is the best way to gain muscles, but we're here to get stronger, we're here to get to good level. You'll gain muscles if you want to use the 2-set method. There's a video on my YouTube about it already. As a bonus, I will now talk about this muscle building set. I will finally speak about muscle growth and something important you need to know and how you can add it into what you're doing now. This is something you can add on the top of the 4 sets that you're doing if your goal is really to get bigger also. But keep in mind, I would personally not add this set, and you will understand why. Because the main reason is you will have to rest longer between workouts, because it will make you more sore. You will understand. Because you see, the purpose of this program that you're watching now is to get you into weighted calisthenics as soon as possible. And that's when this muscle building and everything you want related to this is going to the maximum. That's why now, just keep training for strength. You know, you don't need to add this 2 days extra of rest between push day, pull day and leg day. Just do properly. Like, do train for strength, get quickly to weighted calisthenics, and then you go all in with muscle building and strength. You see, when it comes to muscle building, once you go over 15-20 reps, it's kind of more for endurance. So when you get into weighted calisthenics, that's when things get serious and muscles are being gained to the maximum. And when you use the 2-set method, you don't only just gain very good, fast, solid strength, but it's also very effective for muscle growth. Which means you can build all the muscle you want and the strength that you want with this method, the 2-set method, which is for later. And if you can't do a single dip or a single pull-up, this program will get you very quickly to 15 pull-ups, 20 dips, so you again finally start to do weighted calisthenics. So take your time, be prepared, and then you get into it. So 15 pull-ups and 20 dips is the requirement before you start this 2-set method. To get to 15 pull-ups and 20 dips, when it comes to how long it will take you to get to 15 pull-ups and 20 dips, of course it depends on one thing. First of all, on your level. Second thing, so 2 things in total, is how seriously you're gonna take it. Okay, if you're suddenly serious like me with training, you'll very quickly, yeah? I would say from 8 to 20 weeks. Again, it depends on your level now and how seriously you take it. So do not mess up and you will get there very fast. And keep in mind, if you're adding this muscle building set, then it's gonna take you a few weeks longer to get to the strength requirements that you're willing to get to, which is 15 pull-ups and 20 dips. That's why I don't recommend it for now. Even if you don't do this extra set, this extra muscle building set, you will still gain good muscles. Like, you will still gain muscles like 7, 8 out of 10. Okay, so if you have the muscle building set, it's gonna be 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 even. Okay, so keep it for later, basically. You can do it if you really want to, like muscles are even a bit more important than strength for you, then you can. But if strength is the main one and you want to get into weighted calisthenics as fast as possible and you want to start the 2-set method as fast as possible, then just keep it for later. So the muscle building set, it's just 1 set after your working sets. So after you do the 4 sets, 1 set you're doing of less intensity. Again, I teach you how already. I spoke in this video what's less intensity. Go less intensity, do a progression of the exercise or less intense progression or variation of the exercise that you do in those 4 sets. Less intense variation, max out, maximum amount of reps. This muscle building set should be minimum 12 reps, maximum 20. But again, just because I gave you a number, it doesn't mean anything. You shouldn't aim for a number. You just should go until failure. But if you get less than 12 reps, it means you didn't choose an easier variation. That variation is still hard. So you should have gone on to a lighter variation. This is what it means. And yeah, once you get to like 20 reps on the muscle building set, just make it a bit more intense next training. And again, you should know how to do it if you watched this video. The static stretching is something you do at the end of the training. So I'll attach some videos here showing you the stretching. So this is something that you do at the end of training. So when you do it, what's gonna happen is you're gonna do dynamic stretching at the beginning of training, right? So when it comes to warming up the wrist, you might only need that before doing push-ups. And at the end of training, that's where proper stretching starts. And by proper stretching, I mean static stretching. So you hold it, yeah, or whatever you do, you hold it. I'll show you the movements, and here in this video I'm doing them dynamically, but you do them statically. So you do the movements that I'm doing, but statically. So you lean, you hold a bit, hold, couple of seconds, let go. Usually for every movement you see, you have 3 sets of you trying to push the limits a bit. Push. The first set for every stretching movement is you just stretching a bit light. Let's say a couple of seconds, boom. Change the arm, couple of seconds, boom. Next set on the same stretching is you leaning a bit more. You lean more, okay. 10-15 seconds, cool, chill. Next movement, or next same exercise, but next set. You do more intense, so you lean properly. Okay, now you rest 10-15 seconds. After 3, just trying to stretch more and more intense. Then you do around, let's say 5 to 7 sets of you trying to stretch properly, like you try to go deeper and deeper and improve the flexibility more and more almost every workout. One advice is never do intense stretching one day before the training. Do the stretching always at the end of training. But if, let's say, today you have a workout and tomorrow also a workout, never stretch the same muscle that you plan to use tomorrow. Never stretch it intensely. It's not a good thing. I ruined many workouts doing this because it's like it feels too relaxed. So do not stretch the same muscle that you're planning to train one day before the workout, okay? It's very important information. Now, what's going on with the diet? Let's talk about diet. It's a very important part. It's the hardest part of every athlete that you know about. Is the hardest part for me, is the hardest part for everybody. Everything is pretty simple. We all know what's healthy foods, yeah, we all know that, and we all know we need to eat a bit more than usually, yeah. So I would say the perfect amount, of course, if you're between the ages of, let's say if you're until 16 years old, then you might gain weight faster than people at most ages. So if you're, let's say, a teenager, you can gain 2 kilograms in 2 months, or 2 kilograms in every couple of weeks, yeah, so that's normal. But usually you need to be in a surplus, which means you should feel energetic from the diet. You should gain slowly weight, you should gain a bit of weight, and the diet should be healthy. And it should contain most of the nutrients and of course enough protein. So, and have a diet which has most of the vitamins or most of the nutrients you need. Of course, we know it's healthy. You can make omelette with whatever you're eating it with. You can eat some meat with vegetables. You can eat fish. You can eat some grains. You can eat pasta. We know what's healthy. It's more about calories. Calories will decide if you're gaining weight or not. Because I'll give you 2 examples of how calories work. There's 2 types of people. Let's say they're twins. Same genetics, same everything, same sleep. One of them eats perfectly healthy food, but 200 calories less than he needs to. Yeah. One guy, also his twin, eats 200 calories more than he needs to, but from very unhealthy foods. This guy will progress in strength a bit better. This guy will have a longer life. He will not have too many problems with health. He will be chilling when it comes to health. This guy will ruin his health a bit, but progress faster in strength. So it shows that calories are unfortunately a bit more important than nutrients. But still, the hardest part is getting your calories from the right foods. This is the hardest part, because often the foods high in calories are not too healthy. So if you're a guy with skinny genetics, with skinny guy genetics, then it's going to be tough for you. But who said it's easy? I've been struggling all my life with diet because it's tough. I struggle today, I struggle every day with diet, because you need to do things you need to do things that you don't want to do. You understand? So that's why it's tough. when it comes to how much protein you need in a day, well, honestly, to most of you, I would not suggest you to track it too much. Just eat healthy, make sure you feel good, make sure you gain a bit of weight, make sure you progress in strength. These are the main factors. For you to take every gram seriously, I have a feeling you're gonna give up quickly, because even top athletes cannot have a very, very strict diet. Of course, it's better if you have a very, very strict diet, but it's too complicated. It's very, very complicated. So that's why I suggest you again, eat enough so you feel good, you progress in strength, you gain a bit of weight but not too much. So that's the perfect amount. And by the way, the perfect body fat percentage for calisthenics is when is below the point where if you flex your abs in good lighting, if you flex your abs and you see no abs, then it means you need to eat. Then it means your body fat percentage is too high, or it's getting a bit too high. Get to the point where you flex your abs and you barely see something, then you're at the maximum body fat percentage you can have in calisthenics. So you will be mostly doing pull-ups for your back, right? There's 10 to 15% of the muscles in the back which is not targeted, yeah? And one thing about this is that it's okay. This can only be an issue, and listen, this is the truth like crazy, yeah? This is only the issue if you're suddenly doing a weird movement or a skill or an exercise which involves the muscles that you got strong from weighted pull-ups plus those 10% of the muscles that you didn't really train too much. So the 90% of your strong muscles are pulling and the 10% cannot pull as much, and they get damaged, they get injured. But this is such a rare case, and this is not going to be an issue, you will be fine. No, those 10% of muscles will not look very weird, very out of shape, no. You understand, when I give a good method, which I've learned from good sources, and those good sources are the top, strongest athletes in calisthenics, the biggest legends in the sport, I spoke to at least 18 of them. So I know what methods they use, what methods they suggest to people. So when people tell me that they're progressing very good, I'm not impressed. But when people tell me they're not progressing, I know they're doing something wrong, like they're making some mistakes that they don't want to tell me. And that's usually what the case is, because admitting that you're making mistakes, that you're wrong, is tough. It's the toughest part, you understand? So that's why people don't do it, and they blame the program, or they blame everybody else apart from themselves. Even someone like me, who's so serious about training, very, very serious, could have like very serious, I still make mistakes. They're probably like minor, like very small mistakes, but they still affect your progress. So if I make mistakes, if all the people I spoke to, all the top athletes who have world records, crazy records, some of them actually make more mistakes than me, you understand? So again, it's 100% that everybody makes mistakes. You should need to make less mistakes, and always when you make a mistake that affects your progress, admit that you're wrong and try not to do it again. And say to yourself, the reason I messed up, the reason I didn't progress is because I made this mistake. I'll try my best not to make it again. This will happen 10 times, 100, 200, until you stop doing it finally. Man, if I don't know how the system works, then who does? So listen to me, and believe me, this is a good advice. Again, a proper good one, I'm just saying good, acting humble and that. I wonder like what coach would look at this video and say that this method is very bad. What coach, if a coach will actually say, no bro, this method will never get you to 15 pull-ups or 20 dips, send me his address. We're gonna go and get physical. Yeah? It's one method, again, everybody will progress with. It's easy to understand, and it will take you actually very far. It can take you to a professional level. And by professional, I mean a professional level of, you know, your endurance, for example, if you're only gonna stick to body weight. So yeah, again, it will take you very far, and many people will go to very good level, and all of you guys will achieve 15 pull-ups and 20 dips, all of you. But this is a good level, it's a starting level, like it's a starter pack in calisthenics. Yeah, 15 pull-ups, 20 dips, you're already very close to 20 dips and 15 pull-ups, very, very close. And guess what? Once you get to this point, I have an amazing video for you. I made it on my YouTube already, explaining details. Man, I'm gonna take you to the next level. Top level knowledge is the 2-set method. 2 sets, 2 exercises. More details in that video. So quickly, as quick as you can, take this stuff seriously. Do not rush. Follow the plan, follow the structure, follow what you have to do. Get to 20 dips, 15 pull-ups, watch the 2-set method video, and get to the next level. There's no such thing as telling someone, oh bro, I will get into calisthenics, I'll start calisthenics soon. You write it down, okay, on this day I start tomorrow. If you didn't start already, if it's one of your first times, if you're thinking about it, now, words are nothing without action. What you're doing is the most important thing, not what you say. What you say is one thing, what you do is a different thing. If you want to be serious, you need to do actions. Prove to yourself who you are and what you do by actions first and not what you say. Get into it, okay? You'll be so glad that I pushed you so much and I motivated you to keep going. That's the hardest part at the beginning. It's the hardest part until you get some results that you don't want to lose anymore. So you're getting to this point where, okay, the results are good. Feels good. Looks good. A lot of benefits. My family members notice it. They say good things. I want more. So you want, it's like an addiction, but a good one, right? So you will want more. You will not want to go back to those days like before. You will not want to go back. So I'm taking you through the first steps. If you enjoyed this video, yeah, do a quick boom, boom, boom. It's quick. Like, share, boom, boom, boom. Quick one. You see? So only 3 seconds. So yeah, I'll see you on the next video.